Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today with us. Today is the last presentation of the webinar, where we are gonna present the last part of the presentation. Let me. Well, today, as I said, is the last day of the series of webinar we have done during this week. All these webinars were based on the different tasks that Back2Fuel is addressing, and I will give, as usual, as I did during the last other webinars, I will do a small presentation of Back2Fuel, and then I will give the talk of the word to Camille. Camille Stilowski he's working at InnoEnergy, and he's helping us to boost the commercial part with a parallel project that is called MyDice. Okay, so as I said before, Back2Fuel is an acronym of bacterial conversion of CO2 and renewable hydrogen into biofuels. The idea is to be able to demonstrate at TRL5 the possibility to produce biofuels from two different methodologies. The first one is a photocatalytic process that will produce hydrogen from a source of energy coming from sunlight, using a catalyst that has been enhanced with atomic quantum clusters. And we are able to split the water and produce hydrogen. This hydrogen will feed a bacteria in a second step by a bioelectrical chemical system, or by a fermentation process, biochemical process, let's say. We add also CO2, and we are able to produce these biofuels. These bacteria will be modified by using CRISPR-Cas. Okay, and the idea is to demonstrate this at TRL5. So we cover nanotechnology, we cover also biotechnology in the use of CRISPR, and in the use of bacteria, and in the use of biochemical processes. Also, we we use chemical engineering in the way that we couple the technology, both technologies, that by themselves that they can work perfectly, and we try to cover it, couple it, and demonstrate it at TRL 5. But also today, as I said before, the idea is to reach higher TRL, reach commercialization faster as we could. And today we are going to see how we do it. Just this as a summary of the series of webinars we have done so far. And as you can see, it's a perfect circle where we have start from nanoparticles to atoms. We have seen how modeling these atomic quantum clusters, then what is the use of these clusters by testing a photocatalytic system to produce hydrogen, then how metabolic engineering is involved in Back2Fuel project, then the electrobiocatalytic approaches for CO2 capture and use we have seen yesterday by Deepak. And today we are going to see how can we boost this technology to the market by using two tools that Camille will explain right now. Okay, so I give you Camille the floor, and well, go ahead.
Please just confirm that you see my screen right now.
Yeah, we can see perfect.
Okay, thank you very much, Ignacio. So today I want to tell you a bit more about how InnoEnergy works with such projects as MyDice and Back2Fuel is, because I just want to make a remark that this exercise that we started 2 years ago with Back2Fuel was first of this kind, and it was also a bit unusual for InnoEnergy. But I will try to explain a bit more why we have started this work and what have we gone through. So just for the beginning, InnoEnergy is an innovation engine. That's how the European Commission defines us, but we definitely much prefer to call ourselves a fund. We are an investment fund that is a bit different because we are investing public and private money together, meaning that we are coming from the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, so the agency run by the European Commission, which means that we are partially owned by the European Commission, by the Horizon 2020 project, and also we are partially supervised and funded by the private contributors. On the map, you can see our shareholders, among which you can find such companies as Total, EDF, Schneider, or also universities, which is also a bit interesting because this makes us a bit unique. That among the shareholders, you can see not only private companies, but also universities and also research institutes. So we are a public-private partnership run by the Commission and under the auspices of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. And what we do is simply to help the companies to understand that it's a bit interesting that idea does not always equal business. In our fund, each year we are supervising and assessing more than 100 ideas, more than 100 projects of people who are definitely convinced that they know how to run a business, that they know how to make money. But after a day, we see that only a small chunk of those ideas really turns out to be a good business idea, because we also see that there are a lot of problems that people don't really understand, factors that people underestimate at the beginning of their journey, and it really does not always equal a success. That if you have a good idea, if you think that you know everything about your product, it does not really always mean that you succeed in selling the product to the market. The main problem that we identified in our work, because in energy is currently working for a 10-year of time, so we may say that hundreds of projects have gone through our assessment committees, that hundreds of projects have failed, and only a few of them succeeded. And the reason why the situation is like this is that people always think in an old way, meaning that we focus very much on the product. We think about developing the product, adding new features, testing it in practice. And as far as we know, the sooner launch, the better. This is the old model, the old way of thinking, that the sooner you launch the product, the sooner you show it to the audience, and the sooner and the more features you add, the better your product will be. However, we came to the conclusion that it's really not the case, that we should focus much more on the customer perspective, because you can have a great idea, but without the customer ready to buy your product, you will simply fail and you will not succeed on the market. One of the examples that we usually show is, for instance, the VHS cassettes, or for instance, the Dvorak keyboard. So technologies, products that have really been better than the converted keyboard we currently use, or much better than the VHS cassettes, but for some reasons we don't use it anymore, and for some reasons those companies that develop those products has not really made a profit. So we try to persuade our shareholders, we try to persuade our companies that we should really focus on customer, on its needs, on designing only those features that people are ready to use, and to really focus on the buyer, not on the product. And usually on our daily work, we work with companies, with startups, so people who are whose primarily focus is to simply make money. However, this exercise that we've done through the MyDice project with the European Commission's request was a bit different, because in this case we have been asked to work with a Horizon 2020 project, very much academia and university oriented. So people who are probably very much focused on developing the product, on research, on making their hypothesis right, or proving that they're right. However, the European Commission was really concerned about the fact that many Horizon projects are not really turning into the product. And many Horizon projects, and not only Horizon, but most of the R&D projects, are not really converting into the really working products. And they asked us to support a few selected projects, also including the BACTOFUEL project, so that parallel to the normal project workflow, when you have a call for proposals, when you're chosen for the evaluation, and you finally got the funding, in parallel, we should also help the Horizon project, the BACTOFUEL project, and the team to also think about the market, to think about whether after the completion of the Horizon project, there will be really a product available for the buyers on the market. And here we have actually three different tools. One is the feasibility study, which I will go a bit in the detail later on. We have the tech to market plan, which is also the second tool that we use on a daily basis. And there is a third tool, which is called the stage gate review, which I'm also about to discuss a bit later on. So what is the goal of our cooperation with BACTOFUEL and what is the goal of Energy's work is simply to de-risk the project, to show all the potential factors that can really delay the market entry, or that can really make you unfortunate in a way that you're not really succeed in entering the market. And second goal is simply to accelerate the market entry, so to make all your journey a bit faster, to make it a bit lighter than you may be expected, and to have your product sooner on the market than later. So also important to know is that because we are an investment fund, that's not the case of the BACTOFUEL, because we are not a shareholder, we are not an investor here, but just a consultant or just a supervisor a bit. Usually the success of our portfolio companies is our success. So this is also in our interest to make the product working and to also make the assessment done properly. So the MyDice layer consists of 3 different tools. The first one is the feasibility study, where we think about what we really know about the product, what we really know about the customer, and what we really know about the market. So it's a very simple document, even if we started from a very basic 20 pages document. Currently, Ignacio, correct me if I'm wrong, but the document is almost 100 pages long. So it was really a journey, because when we started to think about the technology, about the project itself, it was not also the easiest for the team to really define what the BACTOFUEL project is all about, because we knew that the project will be running in the R&D sphere, and it's a very low TLL when we met the first time. So after the first meeting, I'm really not also I will not lie that we didn't really know what the project is all about. So after really spending few meetings and hours of really good working, we really developed a good feasibility study, which has already been accepted by the European Commission a few times, which is also acceptable for us as an investor. So potentially, if BACTOFUEL will go to us on this stage and potentially ask us for investment, we would really consider this as a potential case to our portfolio. But when we first met 2 years ago, I would say it was really too early for the team and for the project itself to really claim for a potential investment outside the Horizon project. The second tool, which is the tech-to-market plan, is a bit beyond what we know, a bit beyond of what we can expect from our team, from the market itself, and it's also about enriching the project. So in tech-to-market plan, it's also a document. It's the second deliverable we do under the Horizon MyDice project. It's all about thinking out of the box what we could do externally. For instance, maybe we should go for a conference and talk about the project and meet some potential partners that we have not met in the past. Maybe it's also about asking companies like Repsol, for instance, that I know that the BACTOFUEL is in contact with, and maybe we can think about people who know someone in this company, because maybe it could potentially be an added value for the project. Maybe we can really think about their expectations upfront, so that during the developing the project, we can really think about ensuring that the customer's needs will be satisfied. So this is the second document, a bit different than feasibility study, which is more about the market, about the conditions outside of the project, and tech-to-market plan is much focused on the team itself. So what we can really do, having all the resources on board, what we can do externally to support the market entry of the product. And there's also a stage gate methodology, meaning that every half a year we are meeting with the European Commission's evaluators and also with Energy team, so that BACTOFUEL also needs to show the progress, that they really have gone through some analysis, that they have done some research, and every half a year, which is also a bit stressful for all the parts, that every half a year there is a stage gate review, there is a check whether the project is really doing the right direction, and if potentially the BACTOFUEL team would not meet expectations of the Commission, that maybe the market entry would not go as planned, then potentially we can also stop the project. So I also want to make sure that it was a kind of an experiment for all of us, that having this additional support run by Energy by the Commission, because remember, it's something that other Horizon 2020 projects are not using or are not granted. On some ways, it could be potentially seen as a risk, because in parallel to the normal R&D procedure, we are also taking care of the commercialization part. And if the project would not really do it well, then potentially the commission would say that we need to stop the funding because the project is not performing as we expected. Up to now, all the stage gate reviews has gone positively. So we have really good reviews from the European Commission and from the Energy team. We are really glad that we started working with the BACTOFUEL project, because it shows us not only the need to really help such teams at the very beginning, but also it shows us that such a product can really be on the market in the future. It really makes sense to also think about the market entry at the same time. So we try to make also the project happening in a way that it's not only technology that matters. Usually when you think about innovation projects, when you think about innovation, we usually take care about technology itself. But what we do under the My Day scheme is to persuade the team, and I hope that we succeeded in this, is that in parallel to developing the technology, we should also think about other things. For instance, we have developed our own methodology, which is called Innovation Readiness Level 2, where besides the technology, we also care about the market, the conditions outside of the organization, about the intellectual property rights, about the environment, also how the project will really influence the environment, also about the product definition, and also about the business model. So the project success is really a bit more complicated than most of the researchers think at the beginning. And also we run the project having a metrics where we plan all the steps to be taken together. So we plan what can be done in addition to the normal project happening. And under this, let me just tell that we try to make BACTOFUEL think like a startup. So this is the ultimate goal, because we think that all the Horizon 2020 projects should be treated as startups, because it's not only about using the funding to perform a project, to perform all the deliverables and all the actions that are requested to do, but you should really think about the market entry and to really contribute to the European sustainable goals after all. And this is the ultimate goal of the work we do with Ignacio and with the BACTOFUEL team, to really have the ready product of the market after the completion of the product. Even if not after the Horizon 2020 project, we'll think about some external possibilities. We have thought about other European Commission's proposals, maybe to submit additional projects in the future. But as I said, it's all about making a Horizon 2020 project becoming a startup-wise group of people who really care about the business and care about the money, not only about the running project itself. Thank you very much. If there will be any questions regarding to the energy itself, to the MyDice project, or to our potential cooperation with BACTOFUEL, then please let me know and do not hesitate to contact us in the future, because even if this was a pilot and we don't have another Horizon 2020 project run in this scheme as we piloted with BACTOFUEL, then potentially we can also think about supervising and supporting you in the market entry if you have some other energy-related projects in your pipeline.
Well, thank you so much, Camille. Well, I totally agree with your comments, remarks at the beginning. Yeah, it was quite as a pilot project that it is. Well, we try to we need time to understand exactly the feasibility, the tech to market plan. So it was totally true. It was,
important to know is that it's not really your fault that it was in this very moment, because usually in energy works with projects on TRL 5, 6, or something there. When you came to us, you were definitely a bit earlier than that. And it was also a very interesting exercise for us to work with a very early stage project, which is not there yet, where we usually are involved. So to me, even personally, it was a very good journey to think about whether our services and our way of thinking would also be applicable for projects like you. And I think you're the only one that can prove it's right or wrong, whether it was useful for you or not. But I hope that we've done what we could.
Yeah, it was absolutely. So I would like to thank Energy, because the two methodologies and the every Friday call we have, it's just a step forward to accomplish the target. So thank you. Okay. Now I'm gonna present in a couple of, well, 10-15 minutes the more or less the thing that Camille has explained regarding feasibility study and tech to market within Back2Fuel project. Okay, so let me share again. Now you see the screen, right, Camille? Do you see the screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, sorry. So, well, as Camille has already said, there are two methodologies in order to promote the technology through the market. Okay, in a MyDice project. The first one was the feasibility. The feasibility is mostly based on these topics, and it's important to understand that when you start a project, you have to think not in your own research and what could be the main target of the project, but also what could be the application and who will buy at the end the technology. Because if you are developing a new process to be installed in a facility, you need to think about the problem that the customer could have, do a deep analysis on the macro environmental system, let's say politics, economics, legal, what is pestle analysis. Also do a complete market analysis of your product and your feedstock, let's say biofuels, ethanol, butanol, exanol, CO2, hydrogen. What are the other technologies? Because as we saw yesterday, Dr. Deepak Pant presented yesterday, there are an unlimited methodologies to produce added value products. And why our product, why our technology is better than the others? Or are our products enough competitive to be by a customer? So along this feasibility assessment, we can figure out what could be the at the end the value proposition of our technology, because this is the main thing that the customer is asking when you met a customer, an end user of the technology. What do you propose? What is your value of what is different from the others? So thanks to this feasibility, we analyze everything, every part, and now we have another point of view, not only from our research or an R&D project, but also from a commercial part. This is because we have already developed an ambitious business model aligned with these 9 topics. Okay, so if we start with the product, we have analyzed what are the problems: financing, emissions, policies, competition, volatility of the market, the feedstock, the fossil fuel dependence, the low efficiency. Most of the projects are low efficient, but not really expensive technologies. And what can we provide? We can provide a cost-effective process project. We can valorize the CO2, stable, well, and the cost is lower than the others. If we analyze this, our weaknesses, strengths, and opportunities, we can summarize. Here I put it, some of them is a normal. Well, what are the threats? The purity of the CO2, the cost of the CO2, well, the difficulties to establish operational alliance between industry and academia, or even the weakness, well, the regional funding conditions hinder establishment on international networks. But also there are opportunities: the possibility to build a new supply chain, the no need of electricity because we are producing hydrogen from sunlight. So this is important to do it, not only be focused on the technology and the technical part. You need to start from the very beginning, thinking about what are our risks, how can we mitigate it, and what are the plans. And this was done thanks to the feasibility. Also, if we take a look on the segmentation, this is another example. We have analyzed by demography, operating variables, situation factors, purchasing approaches, personal characteristics along the customer and the market in order to, well, attract end users, attract the chemical industry, and try to understand how can we join a company that will join the project from now and be hand in hand with us along the future phases in order to commercialize at the end. Okay, so this is the value proposition we are developing. This is an alive element. That means according what we are improving, what we learn along the project, we are modifying in order to do it more appealing for a customer. We can say that our process is lower, has lower CapEx and OpEx, higher efficiency than of hydrogen production from a photocatalytic point of view, no impact of food crops. This is depending on the customer you want to contact. You need to at least modify a little bit the value proposition, but you need to be honest, transparent, and confident, because if you try to sell something that is not, probably the customer will not buy the technology. Okay, and as Camille said before, when we started the project, we were just focused on how can we do this and how can we improve the technology to demonstrate it. But wait, we need to not only improve the knowledge transfer and all related about the technical part, but we need to think about the customer. We need to put the customer in the center, and we need to try to figure out what are the customer problems, the design, the tests, how can we launch it, what could be the feedback, iterate the process once again and again, repeat it, but always with the customer in the center, because at the end they will buy the technology. So this is how can we ambition our business model according to this: put the customer in the center and try to align the technology and our business plan with the customer. Okay, so the goal, this is a goal, a standard goal. We can license the technology and be sell to a company. Okay, what are the points that we need to follow in order to do the exploitation plan? We need to have an strategic goals, do a market analysis, analyze the routes to market, do a competitor analysis, the supply analysis. Well, what are the legal, societal, and market dependencies? And at the end, what is the financial model? For sure, we need to have a reasonable and coherent analysis of the production costs, sales revenues, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we have draw a scheme where we follow this structure, and that we believe is the best one to avoid the dead valley, to avoid that this project ends and doesn't have a continuation in the short-term future. So we do a market analysis. We try to identify the potential customers. We try to enroll this into the advisory board. We do an iterative process. We do a business plan, and we try to iterate according to the needs, according to the feedbacks from the audience, from the market, from the events we attend. Also, when the business case is validated by a customer or by a potential end user of the technology, we agree to try to develop the future phases. Okay, and the idea is to continue this project to write a proposal for the future, for the next phases. So we have done. We have started. This is a side of BACTOFUEL project. We have done 9 annexes that will build the business case. We start from the raw materials and products. We have defined the process. We have done a market analysis, and we have added another annex that is called project size. Why we have we are starting working on a project size now, if we are at TRL 4 or 3 or 5, because this will give us an idea of, this will give us an idea about what could be the cost, the preliminary cost, what could be we do an economic assessment at the end of Back2Fuel that will give us an idea for next phases, for future phases. Okay, so we follow this pathway: project size, what could be the best location for the technology. We define the process engineer, mass energy balance, design of equipments, and at the end, an economics assessment. Why? Because if we outline at the end of Back2Fuel, at the end of 2022, because it was extended, if we outline an economic assessment, we could do in a phase 2 a definition of the economic assessment. So if we are able to define everything and define for the next phase 2, that will give for sure a win-win to have a phase 3 that will means is commercialized at the end. Okay. So this was done thanks to the feasibility study and the tech to market, because don't forget that the feasibility gives the feedbacks to cool draw this. Okay. If we focus on the tech to market plan is a scheme where 9 disciplines have to take into account. These 9 disciplines are aligned throughout the project, and in order to not forget, as Camille said before, to not forget that also it's important to have a good communication activities. It's also good to understand the IP, the intellectual properties, the internationalization, what could be our commercial strategy. So if we draw a plan along the Back2Fuel project, for sure there will be more chances to get commercialization, to reach the target of Back2Fuel. This is a picture, you see here a picture of a workshop we had in Brussels, in Ghent, I remember, where we put on labels what are the main topics we have mandatory in Back2Fuel project, and what could be the steps, the needed steps to improve this part, and then reach higher TRL, higher commercial, higher innovation of our process. So this was done in more than 3 hours. We were the consortium met with InnoEnergy, and we try to analyze step by step what are the main steps that needs to be done in order to reach this target. How can we do it? By gates. This stage gate review that Camille said before is a number of states that are aligned with the evaluation from the Commission, that during this stage gate review, the Commission will need to know if we have done some progress on this technological and tech to market plan. What does it mean? We need to create a gate that means something and are aligned with the next gate in order to, well, improve the 9 disciplines. Okay, so this is also important to know that we also have defined what could be the gates in order to reach the target of the project. Okay, as you can see here, we have more or less the tech to market plan of Back2Fuel project, and we have added some business milestones along the project that will provide us at least a level of succeed in the market the marketing size. As you can see, most of them are aligned with the gates. We will see later the gates, but this is important to understand that the rest is Back2Fuel, but also we have added some business milestones, for instance, search and selection of potential customers. During the gate 1 stage gate review, we have presented this to the Commission, and we have said we have fulfilled the business milestones #1 that has been created for this stage gate review, and we have selected this potential customer. We have a letter of one of them. What could be the second one or the third one? A progress on the business case. We need to present in March 2021, probably in front of the commission, we have a stage gate review that we need to present what are the progress so far. And we need to present the progress on the business case. What are the progress? What does it mean if we have done a proposal for phase 2, if we have on board companies or not, on what are the situation on dissemination and so on, okay? As I said, 9 disciplines: product development, commercial strategy, partner, IP, fund, communication activities, HR, manufacturing, and internationalization. That will provide us more strength, and for sure they will give us a level of succeed, okay? Why? Because at every stage gate, the commission will give us a go, no go to continue until to ensure that the project business plan is feasible, okay? And these are the stage gate review that has been done for BACTOFUEL project. As I said before, we need to onboard companies that will join us along the project and during next phases, and in a level of collaboration they want, and try to well, write together what could be the steps, because they have the knowledge of the industry, they know the market, they could fund also the future phases, okay? And these gates, what was done at the beginning, the commission gave us the go. The second one was a preliminary techno-economical analysis, because the commission, the European Commission, at the beginning of the first stage gate review, they suggest us to start doing a techno-economical analysis. Why? Because this will give us ideas of the product system we are developing. If one of them is not cost feasible because of the sacrificial iron, whatever. Okay. The third one is to prepare a first call for proposal for the next phases and be presented within EIC Accelerator, Innovation Fund, others. The second one is to create, the fourth one is to create a spin-off partner agreement for the phase 2. And the final one is, as I said before, the final TA, a cost calculation envisioned for phase 2. So this has to be presented to the commission, and they will give us the go, no go, and for sure, if we follow this pathway, for sure we will accomplish the objective. Okay. As an example, we did a break-even point. Is the minimum quantity to be produced in order to see the money. Is true, to see economical feasibility of the project. Okay. This is basically you have 2 lines, the sales line and cost lines. From this point to the left, you lost money, and at the beginning, from this through this, you will win money, because the cost is below the what you say. Okay, so we need to figure out what this value is. When you do a market analysis, you can figure out, according to the rest of the technologies on the rest of the market, what could be this value. Okay, and we have analyzed our product system. This is what's defined. We have done the cost calculation based on raw materials, general service, labor costs. Okay, and as you can see here, we have analyzed 3 product systems. One of them was using a sacrificial iron, the other one with different point of view. And we have seen here, for instance, they give us a perfect view that the first system is really it's too expensive if we consider the first product system. So this will give us, we cannot follow this pathway.
Yes, so can you explain a bit more about those systems? What are they?
Well, I haven't here, but if you take a look on the product system, when you split water, you need a sacrificial ion, let's say, that capture the oxygen and able to pass the hydrogen part. Okay, so we have analyzed technically. You can analyze this possibility, and you can say, okay, if you can add an alcohol, for instance, that is able to capture the oxygen, it's fine. But how much it costs this alcohol? So you are producing an alcohol here, but you need to use an alcohol for the first part. So it's not able to continue through this way. So the technical part has to think about differently. Okay, so that's one of the points. The second one is to avoid this part, avoid the use of a sacrificial agent, and use demonstrate and define and characterize a photocatalytic process without using a sacrificial agent. And the third product system is to recycle the CO2. Okay, recycle CO2, and let's see, we don't pay for the CO2, and we continue through this. Okay, and so that will save money because you won't pay for the CO2. Okay, you follow me?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, okay. So these are the three systems. We see here that the revenues are the same because it's calculated based on the money per tons, the quantity per tons, and you can see the same. But as you can see here, the first product system tell us that is not possible because the cost is really high. Okay, so this is not possible. The idea is that thanks to the preliminary techno-economic analysis we have done, we have also gave a suggestion for the technical part that avoid this part, because if not, we won't be able to continue towards a higher to reach a higher TRL. Okay, so that tool also helps the technical part. So here you see, if you draw the cost line versus sales, you don't see any point where the sales will be up the cost. So this is the product system is not affordable. The second part, yes, you can, this is an estimation, okay, but from this value you will win money. But if you recycle CO2, you can start lower and start winning money in a further earlier than here. Okay, so that's just an example that this was presented to the commission, and they told us that it was great to see that we have already done this, and this is also good to know that we are more ready now, and we know what could be the cost of more or less by estimation of everything. Okay, and for next phases, this is the timeline that we have drawn. This is the end of Back2Fuel at TRL5, and the idea is to continue up till TRL9. That means commercialization. Okay, let me see. Okay, and also we need to take into consideration the market. What could be the financial plan? Okay, along the TRL, we can see the different milestones we need to fulfill. We need to see what could be the funding, the possible funding, what is the market that we need to analyze. Okay, throughout the years, and then at the end of 2028, be able to be commercialized. Okay, this tech to market plan, this financial plan is also drawn thanks to the tech to market plan. So just to finish, why join Back2Fuel? Because we need we need expertise of the industry to develop the next step towards commercialization, because of the possibility to harness the knowledge obtained. Okay, and to use the technology in the short term and thus contribute to reducing carbon emissions, because this technology is aligned with the EU policies, because this technology will help to face the current problems, because we need to support of strategic companies to help. Okay, so thanks to this, we are more now, thanks to these two tools, we are more aware of the commercial part and align with the technology, and for sure we will be able to demonstrate it and reach the targeted TRL, and that's all. Okay.
Thanks very much, Ignacio. It was really informative. We haven't also talked for a while, and I think that I've also learned a lot from this presentation, and I also need to say that it looks really, really informative, which means that I see great progress in showcasing the work you've done, and also in graphically showing the numbers and all the projections. So I can really say it was really good. You're also interested in innovation funds, right? You see it as a prospective funding for the third phase. Currently, we're working on innovation funds, small-scale project proposals, which is happening right now. It's definitely too early for you right now, but maybe you could be interested in participating in some informative meetings about it.
Yeah, it's also good to know that this kind of event 6 just join this help me to draw and figure out what are the steps from the European Commission from Europe, and if we are not ready now, in a couple of years for sure we will be more prepared. So I will be grateful to join this and participate in a level I can. Okay. Well, I have here some questions. Thanks for very enlightened presentation. Sorry, I need to leave. Okay, Carlos. Well, thank you for joining. Yes, I think we talk too much, but I really enjoyed this meeting, this conversation. Hi Ignacio, which of the gates you showed is the best or the most useful to get a competitive position in the market? Well, I think for me the last one will be the best, the techno-economic analysis, because well, this is what the customer wants to see. He is interested. Yes, the technology is good, it's nice, but how much money are we gonna win at the end? So for me,
I would say it's all about the value proposition. Also, it's about showing your product in a way that it's really interesting for the customer. Because when you talk about the technology, investor sometimes doesn't really care about the technology, about the processes. He doesn't even need to understand it. But what it really matters is actually the last slide you show. So this graph where you show the cost line and the sales line, and where this famous unknown point is. That's really what matters to the investor. And if we can really find this out, I'm pretty sure that you'll get some investments in the future. And that's all about finding this point.
Yeah, the money is always count. Yeah. Ima, yeah, ¿cómo lo ves? Te lo pregunto. Yes, Alberto, please ask. What is the most difficult part, in your opinion, within the design of the tech to market for the future phases? Well, onboard companies, and well, demonstrate that this is feasible in the future. I don't know. What do you think, Camille?
I mean, exactly. It's really about persuading people from big corporates. Like we've named a few of them already, because it's really a bit difficult to get a meeting with people in such corporates. It's really definitely difficult to persuade them to really jump into your project. And this is exactly why we started to build advisory board. Because we think that the sooner we engage them, the more time they have to understand the rationale behind, and the more time they actually spend on this project, the easier it will be to really let them not go away from us, because it's also an investment from their side. So the more you really spend this time with together, the more difficult it will be to really cut off the contact in the future. So definitely, I agree that it's about big corporates that have a lot of options on the table, that have done constant research in this regard. And if you want to be the one chosen, it really needs this additional actions which we plan in tech to market plan. So.
Yeah, totally agree. But well, we have the good way. The good thing is we are analyzing everything actually, because throughout these disciplines, these 9 disciplines that have drawn on the tech to market, you cannot forget anything, because even the commission will ask you about the small part of the human resources. Have you taken into consideration to onboard a position, a director or CEO in the spin-off, in the future spin-off? So we have 1 year and a half to accomplish it. So you're gonna say something?
Actually, if you would see the details of the MyDice projects, which we haven't gone through that much, you could actually see it's a checklist of questions.
Yeah.
It's not a rocket science. It's something that we really gathered from 10 years experience. That when you meet the company, when you meet the investor, they always ask the same questions, and it's all really about thinking about them before the meeting, thinking about them before you actually crash with the big corporate world. And if you really take care about it earlier, the easier it's for you to answer those questions. And it's easy as that, and difficult at the same time. That those questions are not obvious. And however, if you think about them a bit before, then you can definitely be prepared for such a meeting.
Yeah. Keep the things simple. It's simple. You just follow step by step, I think. Yeah. Well, I think it was.
For instance, if they ask you on the first meeting, you pitch the idea, and they ask you, okay, so what is the commercialization strategy for your product? And if you don't have this answer, then they'll probably not go back to you anymore, because that's easy as that. And if you think about it before you go to this meeting and you have any kind of answer, even with some uncertainties, even with some rough estimations of the numbers, it really shows, okay, the guys have thought about it, so let's give them half a year more and go back, because there is something in their mind. If they don't see it, they will not get back to you anymore.
Yeah, I remember the first stage gate review, where the commission says, okay, but you need to improve all the stage gates. So for the next gates, I want this and this and this, and we modified everything. So it's not easy. This is an alive element. The business model, it has to be modified day by day, right, Camille? And well, we have
I just thought it would be very interesting, actually, to maybe dig in our email boxes and to see the first presentations and the first stage gate review materials. Just wondering, but I guess it would be very
deleted.
It would be very interesting to see the first materials, because, as I said, it was not the easiest for us also to understand that the rationale behind what is actually the goal, whether you produce hydrogen or you produce fuels. It was not also the easiest. I remember this discussion with the commission that you should really focus on the biofuels and treat hydrogen as a byproduct. It was also a case of a decision, because in the first speeches you're also saying that we produce hydrogen, and after a few stage gate reviews became, okay, maybe we produce, but it's not the focus. That's something that really appeals because of the processual reasons, but that's not the focus and that's not the product at all.
Exactly. Yeah. But thanks to this stage gate review, well, as we are improving a lot, and we will see on the next stage gate review. If you want, we can organize another webinar when we finish the meeting with the commission and we present the results.
And it's also about pitching itself. I also see the value in constant, repeating the same questions and about repeating the same lines, because every time you say it out loud again, you probably come to some new conclusions. You're able to make it, shorter, to make it more comprehensive, to make it more informative. In other words, because you understand it more, the more you talk about it. It's like in saying out, the lie 100 times aloud, and after saying it out loud 100 times, to start to think it out. It's true, actually. So it's about persuading also yourself to the things you say.
Exactly. That's true. Well, I think we can conclude. We can finish the webinar. Okay, I hope you enjoyed during this week the series of webinar, and thank you, Camille, for your time. I know you are busy, but now you are free. Okay, you can.
No, actually, the work has just started.
Okay.
We have a lot of things to do together.
Well, yeah, it's true. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Merry Christmas. And well, don't hesitate to send us any question through email. Do you already know my email, or through BACTOFUEL.eu, or through LinkedIn? You can ask me anything, or if you want to join in any level of participation within BACTOFUEL, please contact us and we will be delighted to present you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Camille, and have a nice day. Yeah. Merry Christmas. I don't have it. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.